All right, you guys, what's going on? And welcome to another logbook entry. This is logbook entry number 4. Looks like you guys really like these logbook entries and this style of video. You know, it's more personal. It is, more insightful of kind of where I'm at mentally, at whatever phase the video is made at. And you guys really seem to be vibing with it. So I'm going to keep it going and just continue to be consistent with these videos and giving you guys the inside scoop on what's going on this season. But right here, as you can see, we're at Icon Gym. We've got legs today. It's a posterior focus with a little bit of outer quad. We'll get to that point here later on in the workout. But right now, we're sitting at about 14 days out from the Atlanta Pro at the filming of this video, at least. And normally, you guys hear me say, oh yeah, I feel great going into this show. Everything is perfect, but nah, I really don't feel very good physically, mentally and emotionally. Those struggles are always present at this point in prep or, as deep as I'm digging to bring a higher level of conditioning. There's always that suffering phase, and I'm definitely in that suffering phase, but we're doing what we have to do to be better. So, looking and reflecting back on the timeline since Indy, it's been a very, I'll use the word tumultuous, if I said that word right, tumultuous period. As a competitor, you never want to lose. As a real competitor, you always want to come out on top, and, truthfully, Indy still burns. I'm still kind of upset about it, but I'm choosing to use that feeling as motivation, right? That feeling to keep digging deeper and be better than I was at Indy. Not to say, once again, like I said in the last video, that package was total shit. It definitely wasn't. It was actually pretty dang good. But, the judges want to see the improvement in as far as the conditioning is concerned. And, we're going to attack that 2 different ways. And like I said with the last video, we're going to attack it and bringing in even more ingrained conditioning and come in fuller and be able to fill out longer and harder because I'm more conditioned, because I suffered another 5 to 6 weeks to really dial in the conditioning, the thin skin, everything that needs to be present to bring just a more crisp overall package to the stage. And, for me, when I'm flat, it does make me look less conditioned, as we've already addressed. So we're attacking that twofold, and I'm proud to be able to say that I was also able to just improve some areas as well. And, the rhetoric normally is, well, you're in a deficit, so you really can't improve much between shows. And, I'm going to get on that stage and show that that's just not true. I've seen improvements as far as my outer quads are concerned, which is something that I personally wanted to work on. They looked a little lean in some of the shots there, which also has to do with flatness, of course, and not being full. But overall, in general, that's something that I really wanted to hone in and focus on over these last couple of weeks. And
you guys have heard me talk about this a ton already, that I really do think that training hard, even when the food is low and when you're getting close to the show, is super important to keeping that muscle mass and density going. Everyone thinks that the point is to bring the weight down and train softer going into showtime. It's like, no, it's actually the opposite, really. You're supposed to train as hard as you would normally train any other day. And maybe I'm a little bit psycho in that aspect. I just like to train hard regardless of where I'm at in prep. I always train as if I'm trying to put on muscle and trying to get bigger. And I think that there's something to be said for that, because 3 years ago I was in men's physique, and now I'm, got my damn headphone. I think there's something to be said for training hard, year round. Going into peak week, of course, stuff changes. I'm not sitting here trying to move the whole gym at that point, but right now, yes, still pushing hard. I'm tired, but the weight stays high, and in some cases, I'm still hitting PRs, even, 4, 3, 2 weeks out from the show. So, that's just something that I've always done and something that I'll always do.
So as you guys just heard me say, just in the video, training hard has a pivotal role in your ability to hold on to muscle and even build muscle. Like I said, there were some areas that I wanted to focus on, and I feel like I have improved in those areas as well. So we're really attacking this whole thing threefold: conditioning, fullness, and just overall improvements to the physique. So those are some things that you guys can expect to see on the stage in Atlanta. And I really had to just kind of have a bit of a mindset pivot, right? And just refuse to let this one outcome define me, and be able to rise up from that. It's okay to lose. It's okay to fall. It's not okay to stay down there and ruminate in the loss. You have to use that loss to motivate you to be better. That's what the hero's journey is, right? The hero's journey is not winning every battle along the way. It's focusing on winning the war. In any endeavor, you're not going to win every single time you take the stage. Quite the contrary, you're probably going to lose far more often. But, over time, they forget the losses and focus on the wins. They forget the times that you were at your worst. They write legends about when you were at your best. So a true champion isn't defined by a single placing, by two placings, by three placings, but by how they respond, how they rise up, and how they execute the overall vision moving forward after that. So the goal, as I already mentioned, wasn't just to get leaner. It was about improving my overall balance, symmetry, and just a few muscular improvements that I felt could be made as well. The judging feedback, again, was just conditioning. He said that everything else was there, but, I hold myself to a standard, and I really do my best to execute that standard every single day, and as you can see through this workout, and as you'll continue to see through this workout, despite the fatigue, the execution remains non-negotiable. I'm doing my best to keep my form where it needs to be, keep the weight as high as I can, not frying the central nervous system and just creating an environment of chaos, but still training to be better, right? Still training to improve, still training to reflect that dedication to greatness that I have established within myself. So, but the reality of all of this is, just the dig of where I'm at right now, right? In contrast to what you would normally see from guys after a show of just kind of, already being in shape, making small adjustments going into another show a few weeks later. I'm really having to dig into a deeper deficit to strip those final layers and bring an even more improved level of conditioning. I mean, this is the most conditioned that I feel like I've ever been, and objectively, I feel like it's the most conditioned I've ever been. And I want to make a point of saying objectively, because I have been, as well as most people who bodybuild, as most gym goers do in general, battling a little bit of body dysmorphia, and it's just being raw about the mental trap of looking in the mirror and constantly picking apart my flaws, constantly feeling like this could be better or that could be better, or, oh man, I could have been, a quarter pound lighter today if I had taken an extra 1,000 steps yesterday, or this line in my right glute could be a little bit deeper, the separation in my hamstring here could be a little bit crisper. There's always something you're going to harp on. There's always something I could harp on. But it's being able to have the ability to take a step back and to look at the objective reality that today's package is significantly better, sharper, and more complete than it was on the indie stage. And at any other point in my career, right? Improving from where I was means being the best I've ever been. And that's really the goal, to wake up every single day and beat the person who was on stage last time, or beat the person who was looking at me in the mirror last time.
All right, so last set right here, we're gonna go heavy as shit and just pump through this thing. I think this is 10 plates if my counting is correct, but I'm a writer and a reader, so my counting can be a little fickle sometimes. But we're here, we'll get this shit done. Let's go, baby. Gotta get better today, no matter what. 2 weeks or 1 week out. We got to get better no matter what. So let's get it. It's all in the mind, right?
Like you just heard me say going into this set, it really is all in the mind, and the reality of life deep in prep is a lot of this stuff is mental, you guys. A lot of it really, really is. And for me, I place an immense amount of pressure on myself. I place an immense amount of pressure to show up at my very best every single day in the gym, every single day in my businesses, and just, balancing being stage ready body fat levels with running 2 businesses, with running my coaching, with running my personal brand, the social media aspect of things. And now, as you guys have seen, I've been more public with what I'm doing with Aurelium, my handcrafted leather bag business that's really coming together, and being able to compartmentalize those other aspects of life and understanding what's required to separate myself mentally into those distinct phases each day, right? When I'm in business mode, I'm in business mode. When I'm in gym mode, I'm in gym mode. When I'm in family mode, I'm in family mode, right? It's really trying my best to not let the prep fatigue leak in and not let the other stressors cross thresholds. And that's a lot easier said than done. It's actually very, very difficult, especially when you want to succeed at a high level in everything you do. But I also understand that there's a give and a take, right? There's no balance. And when you're trying to win at the highest level, when you're in a competitive IFBB pro, right now where I'm at, that is taking the brunt of my attention and the brunt of my energy. I want to be the best on that Atlanta stage. I want to bring an incredible package to that Atlanta stage. And to do that, sometimes I have to take a step back from everything else going on. That doesn't mean everything else doesn't get done. I mean, there's a standard that has to be met. There's a standard of execution that has to be met in everything. And it's where that compartmentalization comes in. But right now, my main focus is bringing my absolute best to the Atlanta Pro and showing not only you guys, but showing myself that I can be better, and that's where my mind is right now. And a lot of it really is just becoming the person who can handle that goal. And we're going to put that on everything. To reach higher goals, you don't just wish for easier days. You wish for the opportunity to expand your capacity to handle what it takes to achieve that goal, to handle the discomfort of going after it, to be able to live in that uncomfortable place until that uncomfortable place becomes normal for you and you become the man or the woman capable of carrying that loads or capable of carrying multiple loads. In my case, it's being able to understand that the journey to accomplishing anything isn't just the accomplishment of the thing, it's the person that you become along the way, because most of the time we aren't where we want to be simply because we aren't the person who can handle that responsibility or that accountability or the person willing to do the things to get to that point. And not only to get there, but to stay there, because it's one thing to get there, but you won't stay there for long if you don't become the person who's able to handle that. So it is the next day from yesterday's training session. As you guys saw, it was a really good leg day. Really focused. The energy, like I said, was pretty low. I mean, I kind of picked it up towards the end there, but a leg day 2 weeks out from a show is always going to be a bit difficult, but we got it done, so that's really what matters. I'm out going on a nice little walk right now. It's a beautiful day out here, so wanted to come out here after the first meal of the day and get some movement in. So the plan for today really is just to kind of de-stress and hang out. It's a rest day today, so work on some client plans, edit this YouTube video that you guys are hopefully going to see here in a day or two, and just kind of chill, you know. About, wow, less than 14 days out right now from the Atlanta Pro, so that's pretty exciting. But I just get excited. Like I said, I love to train, I love to push the weights, I love to train hard, and that might not have looked like the hardest training session in the world given where I'm at right now, but it felt hard. You know, I was able to keep the weight high as I continue to preach keeping the weight high, so that was cool. But thank you guys for tuning in for another video. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends, and we'll keep you guys updated over the next 2 weeks going into the Atlanta Pro. So see you guys soon.